We got a gay boy and a bi girl.
Woohoo!
How long have you two been living in London?
I've been here about 5 years now.
Me too, 5 years.
Really?
Yeah, at the same time.
Oh.
But for 2 of those years, we didn't know each other.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. And where were you before that?
I was in Denmark.
Modelling there?
No, I was studying theatre.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And where were you?
I was in Helsinki in Finland,
Okay.
dancing in the Finnish National Ballet. So that was like my beginner job.
Have you ever had judgment because you're a boy ballet dancer?
Not since I was like up until the age of probably 15. I grew up in South Devon in the countryside. It's kind of remote, like the idea of theatre and culture is kind of a little smaller, so maybe it was a little bit more difficult for some of the kids to get that I was dancing.
Yeah. What did you experience? Was there name calling or what's
name call like Ballet Boy, Billy Elliot, you know, the rest of it. Like sometimes it was tough and I found it a little bit difficult, but I had this dream and this desire that I always knew that I wanted to fulfill, so I just pushed forward. And now most of those people I think would probably give me respect. And for which I would give it back to them as well. So I guess no real hard feelings anymore.
What a lovely guy you are.
Oh, thank you so much. I try.
Yeah. For like young kids like you were who like things that are a little bit different or not stereotypically male, you know, what would you say to them?
I would say just live your dream. Like follow your dream. If you have anything inside of you that's telling you to do something, just do it. Like I think that's the most important thing, basically. And you should never stop, or you should never allow somebody else to stop you.
What is it about a place like The Box that makes it so London and so special?
It's just so open. It's just, and everyone is like, there's no judgment.
No
at
rules.
all. No, there's no rule. It's just.
Yeah, that's the idea,
it's
isn't it? Just
so
kind of
cool, yeah.
crazy, anything goes kind of vibe, which is like
Hedonistic.
hedonistic,
Yeah.
all of it. Yeah, madness.
Like it's
just total
a
madness.
mad place, but you're not judging at all. It's just it's normal.
When you're working and living in London for, you know, an extended period and then you step out of it and you fly somewhere to work, do you ever notice like whoa, I forgot that not everywhere is as accepting and open as this?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. We travel once a year with the ballet, so we do an international tour. Most of the places that they take us to, it seems, are like fairly open. I feel like there's, you know, the major cities in the world are amazing for equality, and you know, everyone's doing their bit and everyone's trying to push forward on that level. Of course, you know, there are times when you might be out of your comfort zone or whatever, but I think you just have to be positive and look forward. You know, that it's getting better majoritively.
Yeah,
so.
surround yourself with good people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
I think
Your
so.
mates.
And I think when you're bi, it's less judgmental, I think, than when you're 100%, because like people can't really tell, I think, right now.
Yeah. And it's also different for a girl in some ways,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I think
like,
it's different.
Because
I
there's
don't
a stereotype
really
that it's like
feel-
cool for a girl to be bi,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but for a boy maybe it's at school or whatever. That it's not. It doesn't have that cool factor in a way, does
yeah,
it?
it's true.
Do people ever deny you of your sexuality? Do they sort of like erase it and say, no, like, what are you talking about? You're a straight girl. Look at you, you're pretty.
No, sometimes, you know, I had that the other day, last week probably.
Really?
Yeah, I said, yeah, I like girls, and she's like, really? You're a lesbian? I was like, I just like people. It's not really like a girl or boy. It's just a human and the personality that I fall in love with. And she's like, you don't seem lesbian to me.
If someone said it to you again, like, you're not bi, you're a lesbian, or you're not bi, you're straight, what would you say to them now?
I think I would say the same, because it's just, I want people to understand that it's not like, it's the person that you fall in love with.
Is bi life in London fun?
I think so. There's loads of bi people.
I think Maya's having enough fun.
I'm
Let's
having-
just put it that way.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm having loads of fun.
Good girl,
I like
we
it.
like that. Well, you're partnered. So,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. He's
I'm
my
partnered, yeah.
he's my partner in crime.
And
Oh, what? Yeah.
Yeah.
You found your love in London.
I did, yes. Yeah, through a colleague actually. She'd been saying to me for ages, you have to meet my best friend, Martin, and like work was busy or whatever, for both of us. So it took like a year maybe, I think, for us to meet, and then a bit of texting, and then one night we met. We met for supper, I think, and then a drink, and then that led into a trashy night of freedom in Soho.
Fantastic, as always.
And then, as always, like as you do, and then yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
We've been together every day since.
Do you think London is a great place to find love? You know, like what we're saying this year is that like love happens here.
I mean, in terms of numbers, like you've got a high chance because there's loads of people here.
Big chance,
But
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's every kind of person in London. I think that's one of the most exciting things about the city is you can meet anyone of any level, of any size, of any shape, of any gender, of any sexuality.
It's so open-minded here as well. And I think there's a lot of really cool gay clubs and bars and
successful gay people as well, which are like promoted and out there. So it's just known that it's fine.
Yeah.
Pride is happening shortly.
It
here
is.
in London. Pride in London. Very excited. Are you excited?
Yeah, of course. I'm not here though. I'm in Australia. I'm on tour, so I'm not going to be here. But
maybe we can get you a couple of weeks off to come back.
Oh, well, I doubt
or even a
it,
couple of days.
Yeah, maybe from Australia.
You've experienced Pride in London before, though.
Yeah, for sure. It's always around my birthday as well, so like we tie it together.
Is Pride important?
Absolutely, of course. Like it's pushing. It's
definitely.
Yeah, it's what's pushing equality forward in the sense of LGBT. So it has to, in every way, continue, and everybody has to do their bit to continue supporting it.
And I love it. It's just a celebration.
Yeah.
It's of love and of acceptance
and it's a good party.
It's super fun.
That's right. Yeah. And always the cuties come out of Pride.
Yeah, do you think so?
Yes.
Well, and then you're like, where the hell have they been hiding?
You're like, hi. What's going on, boys? The political side of Pride and the things we're campaigning for and fighting for each year sort of change and mould.
Yeah.
Right now, what do you think are some of the most important things that we need to be shouting about?
In terms of the LGBT progression, well, I think the general message is obviously equality going forward in terms of the government and all of the stuff that's already happening.
I think in general, isn't it, Pride is great for just spreading awareness to non-LGBTs that we exist, we're normal, just like you, be our friends, let's integrate more into the world and let's take away the kind of judgment.
I think that's weird for us because in our worlds we're surrounded by every kind of person that we forget that it's even a thing.
That there's any judgment.
We don't. I mean, it's very rare.
That.
But as I said, coming from the countryside, I remember what it's like, and I remember how difficult. I mean, it can be in this country still, and in Denmark as well, maybe for you guys.
In what ways? Like, give me examples.
Well, just in terms of like not being accepted on the bullying side of things, and that that does happen, and it's really difficult. But I think once for people like us who we've kind of accepted who we are, and we've pushed forward anyway, and we're doing well in what we're doing. It's easy to forget that exists, the hardship as well, I guess. So that was a good point that you make about continuing to push the message forward to non-LGBT people.
Yeah. Well, when I came out, my dad was very scared for my future, scared of what other people would think of him as a dad of a gay son.
Yeah.
And what he came to me and said to me about 6 months after I came out was that my perception of gay men has changed completely. You're not, to be afraid of. Like, I can party with you, I can talk to you, you're not going to touch me, you're not going to... All these stereotypes are implanted in his head that
so mad
all we're about is sex. That's it, no more. No brains.
Yeah.
And now some of his best friends are gay men.
Oh, really?
And drag queens.
Yeah.
Who thought that he would hang out with drag queens?
But that's
Your dad?
insane.
My dad!
I love that.
At the front of every Pride parade in Dublin.
No
That's what
way.
that is. And I'm flying them to London Pride this year.
Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
they said they want to come over because they have seen the pictures from last year and the year
my
before.
God.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
I mean,
So-
a credit to your dad as
Dublin?
well. for
When you
being
see
so
these
open.
two crazy parents on the front of every newspaper the day after Pride, they're mine.
We were like, hi there.
Yeah. And do you both remember your first experience of Pride? The first time you went out to one of the big festivals?
I got really drunk.
I
don't
remember.
I was 19.
My ankle was broken.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that sounds
I,
fun.
was on my crutches everywhere, but I was a
Plowing
hero.
on,
I was,
yeah.
everyone was like,
You were like, go, go,
yeah,
go.
everyone was like, you're my hero.
No matter what happens, I'm going to be partying today.
Yeah, I was.
Nothing's gonna stop me.
And then I had blisters in my hands.
Yeah, it's the worst when you're on crutches,
Oh, it's
isn't
so
it?
bad. But I was like, I am gonna do it.
Surely you remember some of it though.
I mean, I remember being in Trafalgar Square with all the people, and it was my birthday weekend as well, so that was like tied in.
How old were you?
It was 21 because it was when I moved back from Helsinki.
Okay.
So that was my first one. But since then, I've always been on tour with the Royal Ballet, so I always miss them, unfortunately. But I catch them sometimes. I catch
Don't
them
they
on tour.
have them on tour? Yeah.
So I did Washington, DC. We had to like sneak out after the show. We finished the show obviously, and there was a matinee the next day, and so the matinee was a little bit less
Ropey.
Yeah, it was a bit ropey, but anyway, it's fine.
Have you got any specific memories of life in London where you were like, wow, I'm really happy that I'm here and I'm gay or I'm bi and I feel safe, I feel happy and
I think with that, it's like you don't really stop to think, oh, this is a really special gay moment. Like when it's so ingrained in our lives, isn't it? So it's like whatever.
It's not a standout thing. It's just a normal thing.
And like we go out and we have like crazy times and we're silly and we're wild and it's just fun and we're dancing and like that's everything.
For young people who don't live in London, who are trying to experience,
move to London. Come here, join the pride.
Yeah, because rent prices aren't high enough.
Exactly. No, I mean, London's tough. Obviously, it can be tough, but you know,
true.
Good with the bad.
If they are living in a part of the country that isn't as accepting and open as London, what advice would you give to them in order to feel happy and free?
I would say try and be yourself in the surroundings you have.
Yeah.
Don't be don't try not to shy away from it. As hard as it is when you feel all that pressure from, you know, whatever it might be. Like I think you've just really try and. You know,
self-respect.
Yeah,
I think it's like,
self-respect.
Yeah, listen to yourself.
Listen to yourself. Listen, because if you always have an inner whisper, it might be like super quiet, but it's there, and it's. I can't express this enough how important it is to like.
I agree.
Freaking listen to it and do something about it, because I think everybody is freaking amazing.
Everyone's different, right?
Everyone is different.
We're home.
That was beautiful. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Big hug.
Oh.
Thank you
so much. Mwah.